Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics. The reason why I call it one of my favorite topics is that I've influenced a lot of my friends to follow this as well. So without further ado, let's talk about how to date yourself and my tips for the perfect solo adventure. Now that it's getting into the holiday seasons, and if you live in a city or just an area that has a lot of activities, there's so many different activities to help you go on your solo dates, to help you build your confidence, just have a fun time by yourself. One thing about me is that I am the queen of solo adventures. That's what my friends know me for. Some of my best memories have come out of dating myself, taking myself on a little solo date. A few years ago, I would say maybe 2 years ago, I had been invited to host one of these little DC events. You know, they have like the guest host, whatever it is. I just get to go into the event for free and get free drinks. So I'm always like, heck yeah. And I had some friends who are interested in coming. And then literally the day of, when I was getting ready, I was literally about to call my Uber to go. All my friends had canceled. Honestly, in that moment, I would have just stayed home because that's usually like how I was. I would only go out with people. I never really wanted to go out by myself, even though like I'm introverted. When it comes to like being outside, obviously safety, like I would want to be with other people, but also just to have fun. I like to be around other people. However, something in me was just like, am I really gonna waste this free drink these free drinks, this free entry into this day party because no one wants to go? Let me just try it out. Let me just go, and I can literally stay for the first hour, and if I don't like it, if I'm feeling uncomfortable, I can go home, just get my little champagne and call it a day. And that was the best decision I made because I made new friends that night. We had a ball. Literally, we had like so many bottles of champagne. We had our little section. It was so fun. And then like me and those new friends, like we just kept going out that night. And then I got late night food from my favorite late night spot. And that was my little entryway into doing my little solo adventures. The reasons why I think it's important to date yourself and do solo adventures is that, one, it helps you really build your confidence and take in everything that you are practicing, whether it's through journaling. Going out on your own helps you put those things into practice, particularly around confidence, self-esteem, self-worth. When you're doing something solo, that's when you can see if you're really putting things into play. You are actually able to act it out and feel comfortable and confident in your own skin. In addition to that, solo adventures, it also just shows you how to have fun by yourself. Because let's face it, not every time you're going to be able to go out with your friends or with your significant other or with your family. You do need to know how to enjoy activities on your own, especially if you're single as well. Maybe you are someone who is usually in like back-to-back relationships and now you're newly single and you just don't know how to live without another person by you. This is your time to learn how to be confident in yourself and how to really act and feel like you are the diamond on display. That's what it is. When you're out solo, you are there for yourself. You are there to have fun and enjoy your solitude. A final reason why it's so important to date yourself: you are treating yourself the way you want to be treated. So you know what you want out of treatment. And so when someone else comes into your life, you already know, like, hey, this is what I do. This is how I treat myself. This is how confident I feel. And if I'm not feeling this way with someone else, if they're not treating me in the way that I treat myself, then they're not worth it. They are not worth the time spent. So I have a few tips when it comes to solo adventures, solo dates. You could go cold turkey like me and people just canceled on you and you just went solo. You could do that, but these are some tips that could help you get into a more comfortable mindset when it comes to solo dates if you aren't comfortable just doing something cold turkey like I did. Number one is to look at your local things to do creators on social media. In my city, there are so many content creators who are listing out, literally listing out events for the whole week, the time it starts, the time it ends, where to get the tickets, where the location is, like literally like Excel sheets, you know? So look for those creators in your city and see like what's happening. Maybe there's a cool like after party party at the museum, or maybe there's a new art exhibit, live music, things like that. Go and scroll through and find something that you want to do. I'd also recommend going to pop-up activities, events. So there are a ton of holiday pop-ups that are happening in my city. In particular, there are a lot of holiday bar pop-ups, ice skating, holiday themed events. So if you're in the holiday spirit and you don't have anyone going with you, maybe go to one of these holiday events and check it out for yourself and have a good time. I'd also recommend bringing something to keep you preoccupied. This is something that I want to start doing. My problem is I always forget to bring the thing, so I need to like remember to bring the thing. One time after work, I had gone to happy hour solo and I had my Kindle with me, and so I was at the bar and I was reading, having a conversation with the bartender. That's usually a nice little plus. When you go out solo to a bar, for example, usually the bartenders are very friendly, and especially if it's just you, like they'll make conversation with you, so that's always a nice thing. But I had my Kindle with me so I could read my book, eat my little chicken wings, drink my drink, and it was just so nice. It was a nice day as well, so it was a nice view. I just felt very happy. So I'd recommend bringing something with you, like a Kindle, your book. I want to start bringing like a little journal and writing while I'm at the bar because I do enjoy writing. A lot of my writing stems from experiences that are happening outside of my home, not in my home. I was thinking, why don't I just write when I go to the bar or write when I go to a museum or do something solo? I think having something that'll preoccupy you will be really good, especially if you don't want to be on your phone the whole time. So this is number one. This should have been number one. If you made it this far, here's your treat. You have to go to a live music or some kind of music venue. I think that's the perfect place to start your solo adventure because one, there's a lot of people there and no one's looking at you. I think that's the biggest misconception, I would say, when it comes to going out solo. You think everybody's looking at you. No one cares. Trust me. I have to remind myself no one is looking at you. So going to like live music or music venue, music events is perfect because you are listening to music that you like, you're just having fun, dancing, and you're around people who also enjoy the same music and enjoy the same vibes. So maybe go to a concert, a live music show. In my city, there are tons of like DJs who perform. They're just like remixing cool songs. So I love going to those kind of events solo because it's always a good time, and I always end up making a friend, so that's always a little plus. Finding music that you like, finding your performers that you like and seeing if they're in your city and going to those shows would be a really good way to dive into taking yourself on a date. You need to sit at the bar. That is where you'll feel a little bit more comfortable. You'll end up making conversations with people, especially like with the bartender or someone sits next to you. You may end up making a conversation with somebody and just learning more about someone else's experience, and it might add to your night out. But sitting at the bar can make it feel less pressure, less like people are looking at you. Again, like I said, no one's really looking at you, no one really cares, and because it's just you, it'll be easier to find a seat at the bar. I know a lot of times I've seen people say that when they try to make a reservation for just one person at a restaurant, sometimes they can't. This could be a way to remedy that. And follow your curiosity. Do something that you've always been curious about, interested in, but maybe your friends aren't really that interested in it. Go do it. Do it by yourself. You're gonna love it. You're gonna have the best experience. If you actually hate it, then you're gonna realize, oh yeah, no, I'm never gonna do that. I'm never in my life. Follow your curiosity. When you force yourself to do something outside of your comfort zone, but it's something that you've been interested in, the payoff is always worth it. And make sure you go to an event where there's gonna be people around so that you don't feel as uncomfortable. Art exhibits, live music venues, concerts, those kind of activities are always great. That'll help you quell your anxieties. My last tip, which is unique, I would say, is bring a fan. Not like the electric fan, obviously bring it, but bring a paper fan. I don't know what it is, but every time I have my paper fan, I always end up getting attention from people, and it's always a good time, and I always feel like it helps me feel a little bit less on edge. Or if I'm at a venue and I just got there and I'm just like, you know, scoping the scenery out, and then I have my fan out and then someone comes talk to me, I feel like it helps me feel a little bit more comfortable and getting into the groove and vibe of things. So I would say if you are doing a solo adventure but you want to meet people, maybe make friends through this, I would say bring a fan. I don't know what it is. It's always like a conversation starter. So bringing something that'll be a conversation starter, or dressing very nicely in a cute outfit that you've always been wanting to wear, I'd recommend. So this is a a quick one. I just wanted to get this out there. I have a bunch more tips. At the end of the day, just feel comfortable and confident because you are gonna enjoy your night. So I hope you enjoy this video, and I will see you guys in my next one.